Hi, this is Arabella Gordon, and today we have lesson number 4 in our Absolute Beginner series. Now, last time in lesson number 3, we looked at the guitar fretboard, and specifically, we looked at the key of C. Now, let's take the camera down to the guitar fretboard, and we will have a quick review. On the 5th string, which is the second fattest string on your guitar, and on the 3rd fret, we've got a note. It's called a C. Now, if you go up 1 fret, skip that fret, and go to the next fret, that note is a D. Skip 1 fret, the one after that is called an E. Skipping no frets, the one after that is an F, and on you can see. Let's go ahead and add the keyboards to it. Last time we established that in the key of C, between the C and the D, there is a note that we did not use. And if you look on the fretboard, between the C and the D, there is a fret that we skipped. Now that will be the same note. And we're going to be talking about those notes today. On the keyboard, starting at the C, if you go to the right 1 key, it's called a C sharp. Now if you start on the D and go to the left 1 key, it's that same black key, but it's called a D flat. So if you start at the C and you go to the right 1 key, it's called a C sharp. If you start at the D and go to the left 1 fret, it's called a D flat. Now looking on the fretboard, if you start at the C and go towards the D 1 fret, the one that we did not use, guess what note that is? That's a C sharp. If you start at the D and go toward the C 1 fret, going down in pitch, it's called a D flat. So, looking at the keyboard and at the key of C, if you look at all those black keys, which we did not use to make the scale of C, those black keys are exactly the same as the frets that we skipped on the fretboard. So, today, we have gone over sharps and flats. No matter where you start on the keyboard, if you start at the F and you go to the right 1 key, it'll be an F sharp. But if you started at the G and go to the left 1 key, it'll be that same black key, but now it's called a G flat. And it'll be exactly the same on the fretboard. I'm going to give you one word that we can use from here on out. When you make that motion from the C to the next key to that C sharp, that word is called a half step. And whether you make it to the left or to the right on the keyboard, 1 key, it's called a half a step up or half a step down. And on the fretboard, if you started at the C and go to the next fret, it's called a half a step up. And if you started at the D and go 1 fret down toward the C, down in pitch, it's called a half a step down. So go ahead and bring the camera back up to me. Let's have a quick recap. Today we talked about sharps and flats in the key of C. And we learned that if you start at the note C and you go to the right 1 on the piano key, it's called a C sharp. If you start at the D and you go to the left 1, it's that same key, but it's called a flat. And on the fretboard, likewise, if you start at the C and go up in pitch 1 fret, it's called a C sharp. If you start at the D and go down in pitch toward the C 1 fret, it's called a D flat. And that motion of going 1 fret either way, or 1 key either way on the piano, is called a half a step. We'll give you a little bonus here. If you were to make a motion of 2 keys or 2 frets, up or down, it would be called a whole step. So there you have it. We've gone over sharps and flats, the black keys in the key of C, and how they're identical in both the piano and the fretboard. So here it is, Arabella Gordon with lesson number 4, and we'll see you next time in our Absolute Beginner series.